Have you ever found yourself in the position where you're delaying creating because you keep saying that you don't have the right tools? Like, oh, I just won't draw until I get that new pencil, or no, I don't really want to create music because I feel like my gear is kind of blah, or I don't want to take pictures because my camera sucks. When the pandemic first started, I got into the habit of watching a lot of gear review channels that talk about cameras and lights and microphones, and it was always about the latest and greatest. And every new camera that came out boasted all these amazing features and all these things that my camera didn't have that I didn't even know I needed. Now, these channels are great if you're shopping for a new camera, but they had another effect on me because I was just locked down and honestly really depressed. They made me feel like my camera sucked and I should definitely get a new one if I want to, take my filmmaking more seriously. As late blooming artists, we can fall into the trap of making our creation process beholden to the most bizarre conditions. So unless the apartment is clean, we called all our friends and we caught up with them, the floor is mopped and vacuumed, we cooked all our meals, did all our laundry, we just won't sit down to write because the conditions have to be just perfect. That's kind of bullshit. That's pretty much just our inner censor trying to get us to stop creating, and we should never fall for it. The inner censor says things like, why bother? You're not making any money with this stuff. You aren't that good. Look at your progress. It looks like garbage. You know what's not garbage though? That $400 mechanical keyboard with RGB lights. I bet you type so furiously at that. Just buy it. Do it. In the beginning of our artistic journeys, our identities are usually very fragile. Our artist child has not yet been nurtured into something that can withstand a lot of criticism or evaluation. And there will always be a lot of persuasive messaging from the capitalist society out there that our tools are not enough, therefore we are not enough. You just won't be the greatest artist unless you have like a $200 pencil. Or no, you shouldn't be creating music unless you have the super cool MIDI keyboard that you've seen, the one where it's like, I've seen that. I'm like, I don't even make music and I want that. The truth is, we have it in us to bring so much beauty in this world as creators. We have the power to astonish, the power to create from nothing. In the case of my camera, I had to take a step back and look at what exactly is that I wasn't liking about it and how much of that was just total nonsense. So cinematography and filmmaking and photography are very collaborative artistic practices. And the keywords here are practice and collaboration. And in the beginning of the pandemic, I just wasn't doing neither. I was producing less work and less quality work, and I wasn't just creating as much. I blame my camera for that. And I was like, man, I definitely need a camera. I need a new camera that can do this, and it's got to have like this feature and like those colors and that data rate and all that stuff. I got caught up in all the specs of all the cameras that they use on the big shows, and I conveniently forgot that it's not just the cameras that are making these beautiful images. It's all kinds of other cinematic elements. Diffusion, lighting, cinematic atmosphere, smoke, special effects, set deck, props, captivating performances, and a really, really good story. That's what makes these images cinematic. It's not just a camera. Alrighty, I'm gonna head back home and get warm because I was seriously compromised.
My camera isn't any of those things, nor can it be. I had to remind myself that truly cinematic images are not actually just images. They're stories in and of themselves. So if you have an artistic practice that you've been neglecting, don't hold the return to that artistic practice hostage to the tools that you use. You can draw with a cheap Bic pen. You can create music with the MIDI keyboard you already have. You can write that story on the keyboard that is right in front of you right now. We always have to remember that the process is the reward, and people can create masterpieces on the backs of napkins.
As for my camera, I just had to add some monitoring tools that help me get a better image and start practicing a lot more.
Gradually, I fell in love with the process again, and I started creating more. And I eventually remembered that is light years ahead of what I need for what I create right now. So consider this an invitation to pick up the tools that you already have to start creating, because it isn't just the tools that are enough, you are. Thank you for watching, and make more art. If you like this video, please hit like and subscribe. It'll help the algorithm overlords notice me. Also, maybe you have an amazing camera, but you just don't know how to use it. I have a tutorial on how to use manual mode on any camera right here. Until next time.